Oh, do you not want me to?
No. Oh, yeah, I mean, go by all means. I'm just a little tad bit worried.
You want me to get off?
No. That way, if it breaks, I can blame you. What?
Love you too.
Hey guys, welcome back. So, if you guys have been watching the channel much, this workbench here is my leatherwork workbench. So, if this looks familiar, that is why. So, what I'm going to end up doing today is completely redo this thing, or almost completely redo it. It's going to be very, very similar to the way it is now, but I'm going to make some adjustments to it and some critiques, add on to it a little bit, and make it not only cosmetically speaking looking better, but also get it to where it's more structurally sound. I plan on using the 2x4s here on the legs. This front leg here, I plan on having it as a center brace coming out for the center instead of sticking out here like this, because I'm getting tired of having to work around that and everything. And it's also going to be a full 6 foot long, and it'll be a little bit deeper, but not by a whole lot. I'm probably end up getting that off, this clamp here, because I'm finding myself not using it very often. I'm just going to go ahead and take it off and probably leave it off. But the gist of it is going to be very similar to where it is now, except for, like I said, I'm going to be making some critiques to it. Now, I gotta go ahead and take this thing apart and get started on it, because it's going to be kind of tricky with that arbor press there, because that'll be recessed in there as well, and I got the marble slab I gotta put in onto it as well. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. All right, so here I gotta take my platform, the base for my camera mount, and the outlets off. Alright, so this, I may end up being able to use it later on, either out here in the shop or back on this workbench again, or a workbench. But for now, I'm just going to leave it off and keep it handy. This top, now that it should be loose, should come right on off. I hope. Like it. That. Okay. Alright, now I got something to work with here. I gotta get this set up and we'll go from there. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and wait to do the center brace here until after I get this deck on. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and move to. I got some 3/4 inch plywood here. I got this piece and I got that one there. And I'm going to use these, combination of the two, to put across the top. And where that seam is going to be at, that's where I'm going to put a brace across the center of that. That way both pieces can fit straight onto that board. All right, so I just recalled that I got to get some measurements. But I've got to implement the size or the depth for the arbor press. This is my shop one, but it's the same press. So what I want to do here, I don't even know how smart this is going to be, but I'm gonna use this here, kind of like that. Whoop, wrong way. About there. And need, let's see here, 29 1/4. I also got, alright, so that's definitely 29 1/4. That'll give me just a little bit of room. Alright, so this, I'm also going to end up putting some half round on one face, and the two exposed faces. So I've got to equate in for that. So I'll have to get that measurement as well and add it to that 29 1/4, and then go from there. Alright, so I got it set up on here now. I forgot I needed to equate in the 3/4 inch this way, but I went ahead and adjusted it, and I'll just make up for it here at the seam. I just got it now. Going to be moving on to this brace to come out here to the middle. I'll end up having to do probably 2 pieces across the middle here, across here, but they'll join up here, and I'll just have an empty seam. But I'm not worried about that seam because I'm going to have a second layer of wood coming on here to just simply have the extra thickness that would be needed for that. And it'll help keep the marble centered up and that on here, and it'll keep it on the wood. And I also got this strap here. This is just simply whenever we go to move, this will allow for an easier access to be able to pull that marble up out of that wood trim and be able to grab a hold of it and be able to pull it off of the workbench easier. Now, I'm going to get onto this since I know about where the height needs to be. So, I'm going to get onto that. Got the brace in there. I got it tapered there at the end so I don't keep catching my leg on it. This should work. This concrete floor is not the best, so it's a little bit wobbly, but as long as everything stays square, I should be fine. So far this is going in pretty good. Now I gotta come up with this, finding out that's not gonna be 6 foot. Oh well, I'll deal with it. But I'm gonna try to come out, I don't know, it'll probably end up being out here a little bit. So 32 by 30. So 32, 30 is what this is going to be. So I don't know what I'm going to do about a brace across here because I will have a seam somewhere out here in the middle. I might have to do something here. I don't know. We'll find out after I get the pieces on here and screwed in and go from there. All right, so we'll just see. So let's go ahead and get them cut. All right, got that little piece in, and man, whenever I was cutting it, I did the little arch. So 3 1/4 down there, and this is like 2 3/4 or something. So I did wind up having to get a little piece in there to support it. Do have it braided in, so it should hold up pretty good, plus glue. So we'll see how that works. Now I've got to move on to this and get it set up and everything over here, along with that quarter round. All right, so it's coming along pretty good now. It's I got the trim in now, and now I got to get set up for the arbor press and have it set up to have it recessed in there and have it flush to the bottom of the marble slab. This is all set up. There's already got the general idea of how everything's gonna be looking. First things first though, I gotta go ahead and get it cut out. So let's get to it. Alright, so now I have the box for it made. Now all I gotta do is put it in. What I'm gonna end up doing, I will end up gluing it across these three and of course across this face. This will fit in here just like this, and I'm wanting to go ahead and hit it with a couple of brads throughout and then chase it with some screws to kind of help keep it in place. So I goofed up. Come on. She ain't flush. So I'm gonna have to drop a piece of this 3/4 inch plywood in there and bring it back up. I'll go run over there and cut a piece real quick and drop it in there. Alright, so I don't know if in there, it's a little loose, but oh well. Let's see what this looks like in there. Just a tad bit over, huh? Now I gotta get that slab over here, go ahead and get it sitting on here and see how it works. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up a little bit over here, blow this off, and get that slab over here. Now the daggone thing ain't gonna move around on me. So I'd say that this is a win. This thing is by far better than what it was already. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some boards, and I probably might end up running them this way across here, and then along with the back as well. Kind of match it up with the press here and on this side. That way it's all blocked in. It'll be a little bit higher, and it'll actually look pretty nice by the time I get done with this. So go ahead and start. I'll go ahead and start working on this part. And so the wood is officially in now, and I did wind up finishing the edges with this 3/4 inch quarter round, and I also did boards for the these boards on the other side of the press, as you can see over there. And below the press, I decided I'm going to go ahead and put some braces from the center leg and the outside leg to go ahead and try to support that end. I'll be doing that pretty quick and be jumping straight onto the sanding, and so might as well go ahead and do a little sanding montage. Maybe I should have planed these first. Oh well, gotta get back to it. Alright, enough of the sanding. Now it is time to start laying everything out to where I'm needing it all. So I've already started here. This is for those who haven't watched my leatherwork side of YouTube. This is where all my rivets and other miscellaneous stuff is at, other hardware. Obviously wanting to keep it in that corner. Already got a trim set up to where it'll keep it from sliding around. Over here is going to be my main stamp, my big stamp. Over here will be my shafted stamps, my setup for my camera, my big old arch setup and an outlet will be right next to it. And then right here, right next to my box, is going to be a little tray for all my other tools I'll be needing there. That's the way I plan on setting it up. I gotta get this set up. I want to get this set up over here first, and I gotta make a bunch of that stuff up and start drilling. So. Alright guys, so we are in the last stage of this. So I've got everything put together and I'll go ahead and show you what we have for now. Now, this is the setup. This is the little tool tray here. This here is going to be the blue box. That's where it's going to sit. This would be the camera mount and the receptacle. This here, this row here, this setup here is strictly the shafted stamp, where they're just part of the stamp is part of the shaft. This here is for the interchangeable ones. Bottom rung, interchangeable studs here. This one here is set up for the bigger punches, not punches, sorry, bigger stamps, my 1-inch stamps. And my wife is currently, and thanks to her for helping me out quite a bit tonight.
He ruined my work.
There's a few goof ups. You'll see it later.
He ruined it.
I got two others there, and that one there, they're set up for 1/4, 3/8, half, and what was the other one? Quarter, half, 3/8. Yeah, so yeah, that's what these are. That's what those three there are. So I decided to go ahead and go with polyurethane on this. Go ahead and wrap this up for tonight. Well, I'll go ahead and do this up for tonight. Come back in a couple of days, sand it down, put another coat on, and then this thing's going back in the house. So that will make it 1 week I've been working on this daggum bench. Let's go ahead and get on to it. So it is finally done. Man alive, am I happy to get this thing in. It is very similar to the original design of the Workbench, but there are several key, as you saw, several key features that I've added to the table, added to the Workbench to allow it to be a little bit more sufficient for me in the future, and to allow just ease of access instead of having to get into my blue toolbox I have in here just for this, especially for my stamps that I have. That was a big deal for me. And on top of that, like even for this camera stand that I have here, on there I had wound up putting in set screws for that, so whenever I'm sitting here hitting on the stamp, it's not sitting there and vibrating and turning on me. Now I've been able to solve that issue. Having my little toolbox, so to speak, sitting in here, that way it doesn't vibrate, and I actually got a little bit more room in there. It looks a little cluttered right now, but that's fine. Being able to put these little clips on there, that was a big deal, so I could get rid of that little tray. At least be able to put it in my toolbox, and if I need one of those D-rings out of there, I can get it out of there. But I don't use those D-rings very often. So I am psyched about getting this done. I'll have to end up doing some other rearranging, but that's fine. I'm able to do a little bit more here. I got a little bit extra workbench room. I'm a happy camper. If you guys want to check out our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, oh, I guess that's it. So if you guys want to go check those out, I post little micro videos on there, I post little videos on there, 1 to 3 minute videos with shorts, and you can check out YouTube shorts as well on there. You'll actually be able to check out the progression of this very project on there. And if you guys want to go check them out, they'll be linked in the description below. So now onto the video verse. So the video verse, if you've been following along, we're continuing on in Hebrews chapter 9 and doing verses 11 through 14. And it says, "But Christ has appeared as a high priest of the good things that have come, in the greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is, not of this creation. He entered the most holy place once for all time, not by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood, having obtained eternal redemption. For if the blood of goats and bulls and the ashes of a young cow, sprinkling those who are defiled, sanctify for the purification of the flesh, how much more would the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without blemish to God, cleanse our consciences from dead works, so that we can serve the living God." And that is Hebrews chapter 9, verses 11 through 14. Thanks for watching, guys, and hope to see you in the next one.